Welcome to the NAHA webinar brought to you by the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy. To learn more about NAHA, please visit www.naha.org. Tonight's presentation topic is Using Aromatherapy for Weight Loss Support. This educational webinar is being presented by KG Styles. KG is a licensed massage therapist, metaphysician, holistic health coach, and aromatherapy consultant, providing essential oil services since 1980. She has worked with many celebrities over the past 3 decades and has published hundreds of articles. KG is the NAHA Regional Director for South Oregon, and her new book, The Essential Oils Complete Reference Guide, is now available on the NAHA bookstore. To learn more about KG, please visit her websites at www.kgstyles.com and www.pureplanessentials.com. And I'd like to take a moment and go ahead and welcome KG this evening and thank her for being here tonight to talk about this very popular topic.
Hi, Kelly, and thank you for having me, everyone. It's good to be here to talk with you about using aromatherapy for weight loss support. Would you like me to get going?
Yeah.
Should I continue? Okay, is the screen up so you can see my, okay. So yes, I'm going to tell you all about the essential oils, the key essential oils to use for weight loss, and you're going to find out just how fun and easy weight loss can be with essential oils. Now also, I want you to feel empowered to take charge of your weight once and for all. If you've had issues, food-related issues, I hope through this webinar you're going to gain new insights into food-related issues and feel more in control and empowered with your weight. Also, I wanted to tell you exactly what I'm going to cover and how this webinar is going to help you. So if you answer yes to any of these questions, you're in the right place. Are you tired of being overweight? Are you tired of yo-yo dieting? Does dieting never seem to work for you? Are you carrying an extra 10 pounds that you just can't seem to get rid of? Are you tired of struggling to get free of the pain of being overweight? Do you want to take charge of your weight once and for all? Would you like to look and feel like yourself again? Do you have a sense of urgency to lose weight? Are you tired of worrying about weight? Are you concerned about health issues related to weight gain? Do you wish you could fit into your favorite clothes again, or the kinds of clothes you like to wear? Would you love to shift from feeling out of control with your weight? Would you love to feel confident in your natural ability to regulate your own weight? Are you tired of the drain on your energy and resources caused from being overweight? Are you looking for a natural weight loss solution that's fun, easy, and a natural fit for you? So this is what we're going to, this is how you can experience this transformation through using aromatherapy for weight loss support. You're going to, with using the information I'm giving you, you can experience long-term results and be free of weight loss issues. You can achieve your desired weight easily and effortlessly. You can make weight issues a thing of the past. You can experience the joy of losing weight naturally. You can lose your pain of being overweight. You can look and feel more youthful. You can have improved self-confidence. You can increase and sustain your energy and motivation. You can also find out which essential oils to use and how to use them safely and effectively on the webinar. So tonight, this evening, we're going to cover how to use these essential oils I recommend, and this includes the safety. You'll also learn all the essential oil research, the reason behind why each essential oil I recommend is so effective for increasing your metabolism, fat burning, curbing food and sweet cravings. I'm going to give you practical examples, how others have used essential oils to lose weight without dieting. You're going to be able to reclaim your natural ability to eat intuitively and self-regulate your weight. We're also going to talk about food as medicine. As Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. one of the things that you're going to hopefully have insights into is hidden connections between your weight issues and why you have these weight issues. You'll begin to see the hidden connections behind the foods you're eating and your weight issues. And this is a common experience that all of the clients I've worked with over the years, that their awareness about the foods they're eating and how the foods are affecting them, and just how this awareness helps them to make changes. So dieting is the #1 cause of the obesity epidemic here in the USA. The research shows that dieting actually wreaks havoc on your metabolism. I don't know if you know this already. This is called dieting-induced weight gain. The various dieting tips and tricks and methods that you've maybe tried or heard about, been shown, actually affect your body's ability to metabolize food and burn fat. Also, when you diet, which is restricted food intake, you are plagued by food cravings. The research shows that dieting actually increases your body's tendency to put on weight as your body feels starved for nourishment and holds on to unwanted pounds. There was actually a study done with 2,000 sets of twins from Finland, ages 16 to 25, and it showed that the dieting twins, after just one dieting weight loss plan, they were 2 to 3 times more likely to become overweight compared to their non-dieting twins. The research showed that with each subsequent restricted plan to lose weight dieting, their risk for becoming overweight increased. The researchers all agree it is now well established that the more people engage in dieting, the more they gain weight in the long term. So it's also been shown, the research has shown, that restricted food intake or dieting is also associated with food binging, overeating, and eating disorders. So breathing in the comforting scent of essential oils can help to curb your food cravings, especially sweets, and naturally lose weight. And I'm going to talk exactly how you do that. So essential oils are now considered an easy, natural alternative to dieting. So the #1 essential oil I recommend, I'm going to introduce you to, and maybe you can be thinking what that might be, to curb your sweet tooth, stop food cravings, boost your metabolism, and burn fat. I'm going to introduce you to that in just a moment. I'm also going to show you, tell you the research why this oil works so well. First, I wanted to talk to you about the 6-week research study I did with 6 women ages 35 to 45. They used an essential oil recipe. I'm going to give you the exact recipe they used at the end of the webinar. Any form of dieting to participate in the study was strictly forbidden. All 6 women lost weight. 5 of them reported an average of 6 to 10 pounds of weight loss. This was with no dieting. One of the things which I mentioned earlier about this awareness, each woman reported that their awareness about what they were eating increased significantly. Suddenly, they no longer wanted to eat something that they maybe had felt that was something they shouldn't have in their diet, but they felt they couldn't do anything about it. But this new awareness and how the food was affecting them, suddenly they were able to give up the food. It could have been a bag of chips in the evening, could have been a candy bar in the afternoon, whatever it was. It was something that just naturally fell away. It wasn't dieting. It was something maybe their intuition had already been telling them that wasn't something to have in their diet, but they just kept doing it. But somehow the essential oils helped them with their awareness, so that, and connect the dot with how that food was actually affecting them that made the difference, and it just fell away. I'll tell you exactly which essential oils to use, the research for each of the oils, how to use them, and most importantly, when to use them in just a bit. First, I want to introduce you to the idea of intuitive eating. If you haven't already heard about intuitive eating, I think it's going to be, I think it's something I'm onto, and I'm certainly introducing other people to, if you've never heard of it. For years, I've followed my intuition to know when and what to eat. I was delighted during research on my latest book to find evidence to support what I've known for years, that your intuition is the key to eating right for you as an individual. There was research done by Tracy Tilka that showed that the healthiest and best way to lose weight naturally is through becoming aware of the needs of your own body and mind. This process of inner-oriented awareness is called intuitive eating. The research also shows that dieting interferes with your inner awareness and these signals, whether it's knowing what to eat, when to eat. It also turns off your natural hunger signals so that you're less likely to be tuned in to the needs of your body and mind. So with this program of intuitive eating I'm introducing, along with the essential oils I'm going to give you the research on and tell you how to use, you can regain awareness, reset your own inner guidance system, and achieve healthy, natural weight loss without dieting. Intuitive eating is a process. It's a simple process. It's very simple. You just tune into, and it becomes, it's a natural process. It's something that you're born with. It's a natural ability that you just begin to tune into again, so that you naturally tune into the needs of your body and mind, and you begin, once again, many of you may have already lost your sense of trust that you can even trust your natural ability to regulate your weight. This is something you naturally regain. Intuitive eating is something you are born with and you do naturally. I just want to really emphasize that. Now I want to talk a little bit about food as medicine. Basically, food acts as a chemical messenger that triggers physiochemical processes in your body and mind. Just like food, essential oils act to trigger responses in your body, such as suppression of sweet and food cravings. Essential oils can help reduce weight by working on the part of the brain that deals with satiety. It also helps break down and release unwanted fat and toxins from the body. We'll go into all the research on that in just a bit. So here it is. The #1 essential oil I recommend for weight loss without dieting is Pink Grapefruit Oil. This is why. Pink grapefruit oil, the research is showing it promotes natural weight loss. It helps curb sweet tooth. It stimulates an increased metabolism. It improves your digestion. It increases your circulation. It promotes natural detoxification and removal of toxins when you're losing weight. This is something that naturally happens. It's a natural body cleanser and toner. It's also a natural diuretic, meaning that it removes excess fluids. It stimulates feelings of euphoria, so you feel good, and it's a fat burner. Now, the species of pink grapefruit, the common, is Citrus paradisi. What I recommend is a cold-pressed fresh peel. They're steam distilled pink grapefruit out there, but you won't get as good a response from it. You want to use a cold pressed peel. And the best locations I've found in my years of working with this for weight loss without dieting is either USA or the warm Mediterranean climate and soil of Italy. Grapefruit scent is bright, fresh, crisp, and fruity. Pink grapefruit is very high in the chemical limonene. Limonene is used to make medicine. It's used a lot in medicine to cover the bad smell of the medicine, but it's also used in medicines that promote weight loss, dissolve cholesterol, prevent cancer, treat cancer, and bronchitis. It's also used as a flavoring agent in foods, beverages, and chewing gum. Robert Tisserand gives the levels of limonene at 84.8 to 95.4, which is very high. The research also shows that the pink grapefruit is very high in the chemical citral, and citral is known to help with fat burning. It's a mood elevator also, and it destroys, the research shows that it destroys harmful cells. Maybe you've heard about using, the chemical citral is used for, in drugs for anti-cancer drugs. In the Indian Journal of Pharmacology, it is reported that citral enhanced metabolism, reduced the buildup of fats by hindering the formation of fat cells. Also, the research from the Institute of Aromatherapy in Toronto, Canada, reported that smelling grapefruit oil has been shown to help curb your sweet cravings. Now, there is more and more research that is linking overconsumption of sugar and high fructose corn syrup as major contributors to obesity, as well as cancer and other disease conditions like Candida. So this can, with curbing sweet tooth, this is a very, the citral is very good for curbing that sweet tooth. As also, the pink grapefruit is also recommended for regulating eating disorders and often used in cellulite formulations. Grapefruit oil does not, I get this question a lot, it does not inhibit metabolism of medications like the grapefruit juice does, that's been reported. Also, psychoemotionally, grapefruit oil can enhance your feelings of self-esteem and self-confidence. So the cautions with pink grapefruit is that it does have a low risk of phototoxicity, and there can be skin sensitization if it has oxidized. So you want to refrigerate your pink grapefruit. I recommend you actually refrigerate all your citrus oils. They are volatile, meaning they can oxidize more rapidly than most essential oils, and they vaporize. They vaporize very rapidly also. So the Institute the International Fragrance Association, International Fragrance Association, the maximum dermal use level is 4%. That is diluted in a carrier oil, 4% of the pink grapefruit in carrier oil. So if you use more than 4%, you want to avoid exposure to sun for 12 hours. That's because of skin sensitization, and Burloak syndrome is one of the things where you can get a browning of the tissue, the skin tissue, that's permanent. So you do want to follow that. This does not apply to bath or wash-off products or with the direct inhalation. So the number 2 essential oil I recommend for weight loss without dieting is lemon oil. Now, here is why I recommend lemon oil. It is a powerful tonic, and it does have cleansing action, which is very good when you're losing weight. So it does fire up your metabolism. It's also a potent fat burner. It stimulates the flow of blood and lymph circulation and effectively promotes detoxification when you're losing weight. The research shows that it is also one of the most potent antidepressant oils available of all the aromatherapy oils. It also activates the center of the hippocampus, which short circuits the emotional triggers for eating. So sweet cravings, it's really good for sweet cravings. And also second helpings can also, if you have a desire for second helpings, help with that. Research also shows the tonic action, that it enlivens your brain, relieves fatigue, and increases your physical energy and stamina. So that's one of the things when you're losing weight naturally, that the energy can be uneven, so you can have low energy ebbs, and the lemon can really help with that. So the species Citrus limonum is the common species. The cold pressed, again, the cold pressed, not the steam distilled, but the cold pressed fresh peel. I found the best locations are the Mediterranean climate and soil of Italy. The lemon oil scent is fresh, sweet, scintillating, tart, and fruity. Again, lemon is also high in limonene. Not quite as high as pink grapefruit. It is used also with making, the limonene is used for making the medicine to promote weight loss, dissolve cholesterol, prevent cancer, treat cancer and bronchitis, as well as a flavoring agent in foods, beverages, and chewing gum. Now, Robert Tisserand sets the limonene level for lemon oil at 56.6 to 76%. Psycho-emotionally, the smell of lemon oil relieves mental heaviness, feelings of being burdened or weighed down by life's responsibilities. I found that lemon oil is especially good for emotional eating. Sometimes people who are emotionally sensitive can put on extra weight, carry extra weight as a form of body armor or protective armor. So lemon oil can be especially good if that is something you deal with, emotional eating. The cautions with lemon oil is skin sensitization. If oxidized, refrigerate, just like with the pink grapefruit. There is a low risk of phototoxicity. The maximum dermal use is 2% in carrier oil, and you want to avoid direct exposure to the sun up to 12 hours if more than 2% dilution is used. Now, the third essential oil I recommend for weight loss without dieting is sweet orange oil, and here's why. It does improve your digestion, it has natural astringency, and makes an effective tonic circulatory and lymphatic system. It's also an anti-inflammatory and helps ease physical and emotional tension. It's also helpful for relieving congested conditions, which often happens with weight issues. It's also a potent fat burner. It's also a powerful cleanser and detoxifier, which is often an issue with weight loss. It stimulates the flow of blood and lymph circulation to effectively promote detoxification when you're losing weight. It's also a natural diuretic, so that it removes excess fluids from your body. Now, the sweet orange, the common name Citrus sinensis, again, the cold pressed fresh peel has much more, get much better response in the neuroreceptor with the fresh peel than the steam distilled. The best locations I've found for growing and distilling are Portugal, USA, France, and Italy. And by the way, sweet orange oil is the #1 essential oil distilled for sale in the world. Its smell is very sweet. fresh, citrusy aroma that's invigorating, warm, and inviting. Suzerain sets the limonene level for sweet orange oil at 93.2 to 95.9. In the USA grown sweet orange oil does have 1% allopenine, and the research shows that it is a natural solvent, which means it breaks down fat deposits. So just to give you a heads up about that. Research shows also that sweet orange oil has an anxiolytic effect, which means it reduces anxiety, and the anti-anxiety effect of this high limonene is found in it's a compound found in all citrus oils. So all citrus oils, you know, have an anti-anxiety effect. A study also conducted in pediatric dental patients showed that sweet orange oil lowered cholesterol. Lowered cortisol, sorry about that, lowered cortisol and pulse rate. Sweet orange oil is a natural diuretic. It is another citrus oil that's frequently used in anti-cellulite blends. Its astringent and lipolytic properties help break down fat cell deposits, cleanse, and detoxify the tissues. Now, because this is such an inexpensive oil, sweet orange oil, adulteration is rare. It's also non-allergenic. So the cautions with sweet orange oil are skin sensitization if it's oxidized, so you want to refrigerate. It is safe to use during pregnancy. Now, I'm going to give you the formula, a couple of formulas, appetite formulas here in just a minute. The number one fixative that I recommend if you're using the essential oils, if you're using a formula using the citrus oils, the number one fixative I recommend is the patchouli. I use the Kablan variety. I find it works best. And you want to use this steam distilled from Indonesia is what I like best for using in a formula, appetite suppressant formula. Now the smell of patchouli oil is sensual, earthy, and it has kind of a hypnotic scent. A tiny bit depresses the appetite, so you'll just use a tiny bit. I'll give you in the formula I give you. If you use a moderate amount, the research shows that it actually increases your appetite. And then if you use a large amount of patchouli oil, it actually shuts down the appetite completely so that there's no appetite signal. That's what the research shows. So the primary constituents of patchouli oil are sesquiterpenes, they're 45%, and alcohols, which is up to 33%. And both of these give patchouli its anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective, which means it protects the nerve cell endings, the nervous system. It's protective to the nervous system. It's one of the most relaxing, grounding, and earthy scents in aromatherapy, and it does make an excellent fixative. So you just need to use a tiny amount so that it's not even noticeable in your formula. So patchouli's tonic action is helpful for stimulating digestion. It also increases the metabolism. It's also useful for preventing flatulence and treating colitis. So it does work well in your appetite you know, if you're using these oils together, and sometimes when you use oils together in synergy, you actually get a better effect when you use them in synergy than if you use them individually, as you may know. So patchouli's tonic action, the research shows that it promotes overall well-being. It helps to tone the stomach, the liver, the intestines. It also optimizes the metabolic function. It also helps to regulate the endocrine secretions, your hormones, your enzymes, and boost your nervous and immune system health. So it does really work well with the formula that I'm giving you. The only caution with patchouli, and since we're using such a small amount, I don't know that this is really a concern, should be a concern for you, but it can inhibit blood clotting. I just felt that I should, you know, be transparent and let you know that if you use larger amounts of patchouli, that it's been shown that it can inhibit blood clotting, if that's a concern for you. Now, the number 2 fixative I recommend is either the bitter or the sweet fennel. I prefer the bitter myself, and I'll tell you why in a minute. The fennel itself, the plant, was used for hundreds of years as a digestive and appetite suppressant. Roman soldiers would pick it up off the roads they were marching on across their long campaigns through Europe, and they would chew on the fennel to stave off hunger pangs that they had. So it's been in use for a very long time as an appetite suppressant. Now the bitter fennel, which is the number 1, the Vinculum vulgare, the steam distilled dried seed, is the one I recommend. The 2 oils, the sweet and the bitter, are similar in their actions. The sweet is just a little bit more sweeter, and the bitter, to me, is a little bit more middle note. It's more balsamic, and it has a bitter, has slightly spicy aroma taste to it. So the cautions with the fennel is that it can irritate the skin, sensitive skin. It is a natural diuretic, so you should avoid it during pregnancy. It is not recommended for people with epilepsy or blood clotting disorders. It also tends to oxidize, so you want to refrigerate it. I find the sweet fennel tends to oxidize more than the bitter fennel. Okay, again, like I said, because the amount that you're using in the formula is so low, I don't know that this is a real concern, but it's something I want you to know about. Okay, so the number 1 formula that I want you to have is to a 5 ml Eurodropper bottle, I want you to add 3 drops of pink grapefruit oil. There's about 100 drops in a 5 ml Euro fluid drops in a Eurodropper bottle. You want to use 30 drops of pink grapefruit oil, then 30 drops of lemon oil, and 40 drops of sweet orange oil. Then you'll want to add no more than 2 to 3 drops. You may want to start with just 1 drop of patchouli oil, and then cap your bottle tightly and shake the bottle vigorously to blend your oils thoroughly together. And then you want to allow them to synergize for a minimum of 8 to 12 hours before using them. And I do recommend that you do let them synergize so they really will be working together. They have that time, that chance to synergize together before you use them. Now the second formula that I recommend you use is to a 5 ml, again it's 100 fluid drops, Eurodropper bottle. You want it to be a color glass bottle. You probably know that. You want to use, this is a little bit different ratio of your citrus oils in this formula. Use 40 drops of pink grapefruit oil, 30 drops of lemon oil, and 30 drops of sweet orange oil, and again only 2 to 3, you may even want to start with 1, of the Fennel oil. And you will cap your bottle tightly and shake the bottle vigorously to blend your oils thoroughly together. Then allow them to synergize for 8 to 12 hours before using them. And you can experiment with this and see if you notice a difference. You will notice as you allow the oils to synergize, even over if you wait several days, that the aroma of the blend will, that synergy, the oils as they synergize more together, and then they kind of reach a peak point of where they synergize together, and usually, with a very volatile oil like a citrus oil, they will completely synergize within 3-4 days. But the thicker the oil, the more middle note oils, it does, you will notice the blend, it continuing to change and synergize over several days. So this is the best way that I've found to use this oil. There are some other ways I'll mention that you can use the oil, but just to get started, really get started, this is what I recommend. You dispense 1 to 3 drops of your oil or blend on a cotton ball, tissue, or perfume smell strip. You want to inhale for 10 seconds or longer if that feels right for you. But something that you'll notice as you get, you want to get the olfactory bulb saturated, and usually that takes no more than about 10 seconds. And then you may repeat again. What it shows from the research I've read is that the neuroreceptor, when smelling essential oils, can become a little sluggish, and it takes between 3 to 6 weeks. Now, if you've been inhaling essential oils for a while, your neuroreceptor may not be sluggish. You may notice the actions and effects of the oils right away, immediately. But if your neuroreceptor is sluggish, this is something you should know, that you need to get the neuroreceptor really responding to the oil. So this can take a little bit of time to get the neuroreceptor really responding to the oil. Usually the average is between 3 to 6 weeks. That's what, and working with clients and with my study, the group of women I did the study group with, research study with, is what it showed with them also. It varied, it's individual, but usually within 3 to 6 weeks they really started noticing the response to the oil, how effective it was becoming to use for them for appetite control, and also with their awareness. It was around week 6 that they noticed their awareness with what they were eating, right between 4 to 6 weeks, that they really noticed their awareness about what they were eating. That really began to change for them. So you want to use your oil or blend frequently throughout the day for that minimum of 3 to 6 weeks. So you really want to pay attention to when you inhale the scent of your oil or blend. These are the sort of the bare minimum times you want to be inhaling the oil. You want to inhale before you eat, usually about 15 minutes before you eat, right before you go out food shopping, right before you dine out, and anytime you feel an urge to snack or take second helpings. Now you can, like I said before, you can inhale the scent of your oil anytime during the day when you want to. The reason you're inhaling so much to begin with is for the saturation, really getting the neuroreceptor to respond. So that's why you're doing it so much to begin with. As you get used to inhaling the scent of the oil, you'll notice the effects much quicker. And for myself, I've even become trained to certain oils, so much so that just thinking about a certain oil, I can actually trigger just through thinking, having the image, thinking about the oil, I'll actually get a neuroreceptor response to the oil. It's just a conditioned response in my nervous system to an oil by thinking about it. So the two keys for getting great results with using essential oils to support you with weight loss is your repetition and consistency. So if you use the oils as I've suggested, and you use them in a repetitive way, you really get them going in your nervous system consistently, then you should notice great results from using these oils. So I'm already near the end of the webinar, Kelly. I must have gone really fast through all those early slides. So what I recommend when you're getting going that will really help you get a really good result using the oils is a scented sea salt bath at the end of your day. As Hippocrates said, the way to health is a scented bath and massage every day, and I really agree with him. I wouldn't be without my scented sea salt bath every day. You can use all the essential oils that I recommended to you on the webinar in your bath. You want to use the sea salt as a carrier and then disperse the oils into your bath. All of them are really good in the bath for you to use. The research shows that a warm bath alone increases serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. It also naturally balances your hormones if that's a concern for you. It will also help to reset your natural ability to regulate your weight. So are you there, Kelly?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, well, since we still have like about maybe 12, 15 minutes, I was wondering if you'd mind sharing with the attendees how you went about, you decided to do this research with these women for weight loss. Was this something that you wanted to do, or you had clients that were approaching you about that? Maybe something you can share for them if they have clients that are asking them about this and how they can go about it. And I was just flagging and reading some of the questions that I think would be good for anybody listening to this recording later too. If you want to just explain a little bit about why you use a fixative, and also could they use a nasal inhaler type tool instead of the cotton ball. So those are three things maybe you could talk a little bit more about so we can have just a little bit more on this topic for the presentation.
Okay, just first off, the nasal inhaler would work really well because that's direct inhalation. It's basically the same thing as smelling on a cotton ball or smell strip or tissue. The nasal inhaler, because it's still direct inhalation. That's the main way I recommend you use the oils is direct inhalation. You know, you can use them in a carrier. I've told you how to do that safely if you want to use them in a carrier. But I found the best way to get the response with the neuroreceptor is using direct inhalation, which is what we want, you know, for you to get a really good response in your nervous and hormonal system for the oils. Now, the way it came about for me to do this study was kind of a community event. There was a friend of mine who owned a local paper who knew I was doing essential oils, you know, and I wanted to do this study for weight loss and using essential oils. So he put it out to the whole community, to people to apply to be a part of this study. So there were all these people who applied to do this study, and the 6 women, you know, they were a good match for following through and doing the study. And they did really good. They were really good. They followed through and completed the 6 weeks and did exactly what I told them to do. And they got the results. And the results were published in the paper and promoted in the community. And so it was a big community event, turned out to be. So, and then the other question you had was about the fixative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that the idea is that I have used the oils, and the number one oil I do recommend for you to get a good result for weight loss would be the pink grapefruit. If you're going to use one by themselves, you can experiment with the lemon and the sweet orange to see what kind of result you get with those for weight loss by themselves. But what I found in practice with using these oils with lots of different clients and in my study was that what we got the best result on was using a formula, the appetite suppressant formula. And I've gotten a good result for both of the formulas that I gave you. The one I used in the study was with the patchouli, and I think it's because of the synergy. The oils actually work harmoniously together in synergy, and so that's why it's more of a whole. They work together to get the response, and you just get a better response using the appetite suppressant than if you do use a single oil. So is that
Yes.
clear?
Right. Thank you.
And yeah, and the Fennel, both of those are such good, they have such a history of being used as a fixative. Both of those have such a good long history of being used as appetite suppressants, and they are really good fixatives. They work well in with the blend because I've tried a lot of different fixatives, and they're the two that I've found work the best.
Okay, great. Well, great. I thought this was a great webinar. Appreciate you being here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.